need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone help. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now those days are gone and I've got so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? And now my life has changed in oh so many ways. My independence seemed to vanish in the haze. But every now and then I feel so insecure. And then I need your light I've never done before. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now those days are gone and I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being round. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me. Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to see you, people. Hello, Beloit Memorial High School Purple Knights. We are the Youth Unite. That is TYU.
Good morning. Alright, what's your name?
My name's Johnny, and I help found this organization with my sister. This is an anti-bullying organization. We're focused on helping people get through bullying issues using music, assemblies, and positive vibes. My name's Johnny. I'm a recent college graduate with a degree in psychology. I faced a lot of bullying growing up, going through high school, and I didn't get a whole lot of help coming through the way, which is what inspired me to come out to high schools and talk to people about treating each other kindly, something that seems obvious, but is actually quite difficult to do. So that's my name, Johnny. I'd like my sister now to introduce herself real quick.
Hey guys, thanks for having us here. My name's Brittany, Johnny's sister. I'm the founder of the Youth Unite. I love the energy, I totally dig it. I'm the founder of the Youth Unite. I started this organization around 2008 because I also faced some bullying. We were new to our school, and I just felt like I couldn't find a good group of friends to fit in, and a lot of the girls in my high school were not exactly the nicest people. So I would go home from school and I would feel really borne down on myself, and I thought, you know what, if I could have a core group of people, if I could have a role model, if I could have somebody to look up to help me kind of navigate the chaos that is high school. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of change. Then I could feel like I could focus more on my education. So that's what I did. I went to law school. I'm an attorney now, like the video said, both in Florida and New York City.
Yeah, you can clap for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Happy law students, I'm so anyway, so that's kind of how I started the Youth United and where I am now. But these guys are really, they're taking it to a new level. And we've brought in Xavier over here too. So he's
Yeah, that's right, you guys might know Xavier. Are you guys here? Yeah, applause for that. Yeah, Xavier is one of our students who's been a long-time student learning bass with us, and he is awesome. He's played all around town with us. He volunteered to help play today, so give him another hand because he's awesome.
Fellow purple white right here.
All right, my name is Jake. I graduated from Bullitt Memorial in 2014, so...
Yep, this is also a purple man right here.
That's right.
We went to the same school you guys
And it's
did.
great to be back. I'm so proud of you.
And now he's back, and he's here to help you because I have actually heard that bullying is unfortunately here. I wanted to say at the beginning of this, man, how does bullying relate to our school? But I've heard some things, and it sounds like you guys are having emotional and relationship kind of issues. So we're gonna help you, give you tools to help work through those things. We're gonna make high school a little bit more easy, and hopefully it'll be fun along the way. Bullying is very serious. I take it very serious because it affected me personally. Not just because I was bullied, but because I regret doing mean things in my life too. I really do. School should not be a place anyone is afraid to come to. You don't want to feel defeated and divided when you're at school. You want to feel fearless and like you have camaraderie. So listen up, comrades. Or if you follow me, I will train you on how to be anti-bully. Alright, let's start with our first lesson. I'm on it.
All right, this is a video we found pretty early on. We were looking for materials for stuff we could share with you guys, and this story just seemed to fit with everything we're talking about. It's this Native American tale that's been passed down from the generations. We found it on YouTube, the archives of YouTube. It's a little bit old, so bear with us on that.
Yeah, it's an old YouTube video, but it has good wisdom.
It is a phenomenal story, so I don't know if you want to say anything about it before we play it.
Yeah, we'll just let the video speak for itself right now.
This is the story of the two wolves. An old Cherokee grandfather said to his grandson, who came to him with anger at a friend who had done him an injustice, "Let me tell you a story," said the grandfather. "I too at times have felt a great hate for those who have taken so much, with no sorrow for what they do. But hate wears you down and does not hurt your enemy. It is like taking poison and wishing your enemy would die. I have struggled with these feelings many times, grandson," he continued. "It is as if there are two wolves inside me. One is good and does no harm. He lives in harmony with all around him and does not take offense when no offense was intended. He will only fight when it is right to do so, and in the right way. But the other wolf, he is full of anger. The littlest thing will set him into a fit of temper. He fights everyone, all the time, for no reason. He cannot think because his anger and hate are so great. It is helpless anger, for his anger will change nothing. Sometimes it is hard to live with these two wolves inside me, for both of them try to dominate my spirit." The young boy looked intently into his grandfather's eyes and asked, "Which one wins, grandfather?" The old grandfather smiled and quietly said, "The one I choose to feed."
Alright, pretty cool story. Inside all of us, there lives two wolves, constantly at odds with each other. One wolf chooses to live in harmony with nature, to respect those around him, to only fight when he is having to defend himself, and he only takes what he needs. The other wolf is filled with anger and doesn't let that anger go. Nothing can satisfy the other wolf. And those two wolves are constantly fighting within each one of us. Because bullying isn't just the bullies and the non-bullies. It starts with every single one of us from inside, choosing what path we want to go down. Do we want to feed the angry wolf whose desire will never be satisfied, who will always be more hungry, who will always have new things to be angry about? Or do we want to feed the wolf that lives in balance with nature, has respect for others, and has a calmness?
That's what I like about that story. It doesn't say there's black wolves and there's white wolves. It says inside of everybody. You all have black wolves and white wolves. There's all these feelings and emotions that everybody has. It's how you deal with them. It's which one you feed. And now is an important time. Now that you're in high school, now is the time you get to start to make some of these changes and choices that will actually stick with you for the rest of your life. You can start to make these habits and start to feed that good wolf. Pretty soon you're going to end up with a good tame little wolf that everyone wants to be around. And that just makes it a better place for everyone to be. That's what I really like about that story, is that it's in everybody, and it's a choice.
It is a choice. It's a difficult choice. Because typically it's easier to go with your gut, to go with your instinct, to go with, well, I'm mad, this person wronged me, I'm going to get back at them. Or that person's so different than me, how could I possibly ever be friends with them? So it takes effort, and you have to work on it now, while you're still young, and while you're still in high school. Because as you become an adult, you don't get this time together with so many different people. Even in college, you're not going to have a daily routine with them like you do now in high school. So it's very important to treat others with respect, but more importantly, to start on the inside, to start with self-control. Which wolf do I want to feed? Which wolf do I want by my side? Do I want anger, or do I want to have peace?
There's one little part, another good quote from that video that I really liked. Hate is like taking poison and hoping your enemy dies. And it's so true. Hate just doesn't help anybody. I mean, maybe it helps your enemy, but that doesn't help anybody in the long run.
You might feel like you're accomplishing something by treating someone different than you poorly, because your friends might encourage it. You might be with a peer group that's like, well, we don't hang out with those people. Those people are weird. They smell bad, and everything they say just rubs me the wrong way. But those people still deserve to be validated, and it takes self-control to do that.
Yeah, that's the first part of this whole assembly. We're going to talk about self-control, how you can regulate yourself, think about your thoughts, and just take every thought captive.
And when it comes to hate, really, hate does no good. It is like taking poison for yourself. Hate will lead you down a road of destruction, and it'll drag everyone else around you with it. Here's a little gift. You don't want to be a temper tantrum person. You don't want to be someone who's known for being kind of a crybaby. If you don't start practicing self-control, you will end up this way. You might think you're being tough by pushing off emotions, bearing them down, but in reality, if you don't learn self-control now, by the time you're an adult, you're going to end up on public freakout online, which is exactly what we're going to show you. We're going to show a full-grown adult. Now, we're not here to make fun of her. She is a full-grown adult, but she lets anger and impulse run her life, honestly.
Yeah, you don't want to be acting our age, acting that age, being our age. This is what happens when you don't control yourself, so.
So we're going to just take a little psychological view of this public freakout video. I hope you enjoy it. It is a little crude.
This is my second time back. This is what they gave me. I knew it wasn't right. Supposedly a milk cappuccino. Disgusting. Probably wasted about an hour now at this point. Manager didn't even offer me a refund.
She sat there for an entire hour, I guess, because her coffee had too much chocolate.
That was scattering. Okay, I just want to show you. This is, I'm videotaping this because it's disgusting. Literally, street chocolate. Like
Anyone who's worked a service job knows that is so rude.
That's not 100%. Like, really, it's stuck in the bottom of the cup. You don't see that? I'm moving cappuccinos.
That's
Not
what you
that.
wanted.
No, I wanted a milk cappuccino. I do want a cappuccino now. Because I know I can taste that right while I'm here and not have to worry about it.
I got you. This is a $10 gift card. Do you want both frappuccinos?
might have been around people like this before, and it's not fun to be around people who just let their emotions get away. I don't think you'd enjoy being in this car right now is the point. So I know this isn't a terribly fun time to
So
watch,
is this
but
10 moments for my
get a little more
experience
through.
in my gas, or? Okay. You do realize I probably spent an hour right now.
Oh, he knows you've done
Excuse me,
that.
sorry. I paid cash.
I'm sure we've all had an awkward transaction in the drive-thru like this before, where somebody was just so upset about what they wanted and what they needed. But that's what happens when you don't practice self-control, when you let your impulses decide your actions. It's okay to feel angry, it's okay to get angry about something, but it is not okay to hold on to that anger and let it decide what you're going to do with your life and how you're going to treat people.
Yeah, I don't think she was following the golden rule. Do you guys know the golden rule? You might have learned it in kindergarten. It's been a while though, so the golden rule is that you treat others the way you want to be treated. And that sounds really simple. Doesn't that sound really simple?
Yeah, but it's not actually that simple. It goes deeper than just saying hi to people in the hallway. Bullying is a complex issue. It's not as simple as just saying, "Stop bullying," and then magically people stop being mean. It does come from inside, and it comes from how you decide to treat other people. And if you just treat people the way you would want to be treated, it goes a long way. For example, the lunchroom. I and my sister created a rule where if we saw someone who only sat alone, didn't have anyone to sit at the lunch table, that person was invited to our lunch table. And pretty soon, we had one of the biggest lunch tables, and it was just all the losers and rejects, honestly. But we had each other, and we were treating each other with respect. Because even if that person's a nerd, or that person has wronged you, they still deserve respect because you guys share the same school. That's actually more important than you might think.
Yeah, we'll keep going here. So it seems so easy, but it's very easy to get absorbed in your own life, your day-to-day doings, and not think about how you want to treat other people around you. So always think about your words too. Your words have power, especially when it comes to online, which we'll touch on in a bit, and I'm sure you've heard plenty about. But think about the things you say, because that might affect people more than you ever realize. Pass that to you.
And beware the lie that you're not worth anything. That's a really dangerous lie. People will tell you that over and over again. When I was in high school, I was a scrawny, redheaded, nerdy-looking guy, and now look at me. I'm still scrawny, redheaded, and nerdy-looking. But people would tell me every day, they would call me way worse things than nerdy and scrawny. They would throw around all sorts of F words. They would throw around, my Jewish heritage was apparently something to make fun of. And every day I was getting mean jokes thrown my way and rude comments. And it was typically the same person saying it over and over again. And one day I just realized when I woke up and it was time to go to school, I didn't want to go to school. I felt worthless. I felt like there's no reason for me to go to school. I've been told that I'm trash every day, and now I feel like trash. It's the self-fulfilling prophecy. Words do have power. Even if you think it's funny and you think it's a joke, you really need to think about what you're saying to people, especially on a daily basis. Are you giving them good mornings and actually trying to learn who they are? Or are you just throwing insults at them to make your life easier, to make your day go by smoother?
Yeah, so remember, your words have power and your thoughts have power. We're trying to give you some tools that you can take your thoughts captive. Think about the words you say. Think about the thoughts that come into your head. Because you might have heard of this self-fulfilling prophecy, which is just the idea that if you think something, if you start to believe it, you start to act like it's true. And if you start to act like it's true, other people see you and start to act like that's true. It can go both ways. You know, if you wake up and you're like, today's going to be great, you're going to act like today's great. You're probably going to have a pretty good day. If you wake up and you think today's going to be awful, you're probably going to just start acting like the day's awful. People are going to treat you like your day's awful. You're probably going to have an awful day. So just take every thought captive.
Beware the self-fulfilling prophecy. you need to think about what you're thinking about. It's called metacognition. It's a college-level psychology concept, but I'm telling you now as high schoolers, because I know you can handle it, and I know you can use this. If you think about what you're thinking about, if you hold your thoughts captive, you can start to make positive changes in your life. And you can help other people who are falling down that hole and help lift them up using the power of words. It's like a superpower.
Got some more words here. I'll let you take this one. That's your good friend, Mr. Rogers.
Now, this is Mr. Rogers. He was on free television. I had free television growing up. I don't know if any of you messed with like a digital antenna before, but I hear somebody. It was a good time for me. It helped me get through high school. Because his show was just about being kind to one another and understanding really just who we are as people. Mr. Rogers says, "You are a very special person. There is only one like you in the whole world. There's never been anyone exactly like you before, and there will never be again. Only you, and people can like you exactly as you are." Everyone's got a little bit of different to them. But it seems like in school, we try and find people who are the same as us, and we try and put ourselves in boxes sometimes. And I know saying everybody's special in the movie Incredibles, Mrs. Incredible's like, everybody's special, Dash. And then Dash says, well, if everybody's special, that's like saying nobody's special. But Dash actually finds out by the end of that movie that's not totally true. Everyone has their own unique experience to go through. And more importantly, you are the only you in the entire universe. You are the only you that will ever be in the entire universe. No one can be you, and you can't be anybody else. You are you. So what are you going to do with that? Are you going to try and help others and build your own self-esteem? Or are you going to believe the lie that you're worthless? In reality, you do have infinite value. You can go anywhere you want from here and do anything. I know in The Incredibles they say, Mrs. Incredible says, Dash, everybody's special, and Dash goes, well, saying everybody's special is like saying nobody's special. But Dash finds out by the end of that movie, we do all have value. He might have superpowers, but he learns there's a responsibility with that. And it's our differences and who we are as people that make us great. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? So you already won. And he's not talking about the state football championship. He's not talking about the spelling bee. He's talking about there's an inner happiness, an inner peace in knowing that you're in charge of yourself and you are capable. And your differences are what make you you. So let's not be looking for people who are different than us to put them down. Let's just let people be who they are and like them for who they are.
Yeah, so we're talking about self-control, controlling yourself, how you can make your life a little bit better. We'll go on a little bit more. We got a couple words on the screen that you guys are maybe a little bit familiar with: sympathy and empathy. You guys probably know sympathy, and they're both related. They both come from, well, a lot of words in English come from Greek, but it comes from the Greek word pathos. It means like feelings and emotions, and it also means suffering and calamity. If you know what calamity means, it's like chaos and like tragedy. So it's about being with people in these deep places of emotion.
Yeah, we've learned how to take care of ourselves and what value we have, but how do we help a friend who's in a dark place? Maybe they just broke up with somebody, or maybe their family life isn't going so great. Maybe you've noticed that they're missing a lot more school than they used to. How do you help someone like that? Well, sympathy is one way to go about it. Sympathy is like when you see someone fall off their bike, instead of just sitting there and like laughing at them, ha 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 ha, you fell off your bike. Instead, you're just like, hey, that looked like it hurt, are you okay? Let me make sure. That's sympathy. It's kind of surface level though. If you saw someone being bullied and you were sympathetic to them, you'd just be like, oh, that hurts. And then that'd be pretty much the end of it.
It really, really is though. You know, it's good for day-to-day interactions. If you see someone fall off your bike, it's just a great way to treat people people you are around with every day. I think there's some 1,700 of you guys, so there's a lot of people you interact with, and sympathy goes a long way. It's just feeling sorry for people. It goes deeper though.
Empathy is for bigger problems. So, like I was mentioning before, let's say someone's girlfriend or boyfriend broke up with them. That's a pretty hurtful problem, and if it's one of your first relationships, it really, really hurts. Especially if that person was mean to you. Empathy is feeling an emotion because another person is feeling that. Empathy is saying to Jake, man, I know that you've been with that girl for so long, but you can come over to my place, we'll play some video games, and we'll bum out together, but we'll also eat some ice cream, so it'll be good.
All right.
At school, the lunch table example I was talking about, that would be empathy. Hey, I know what it feels like to be rejected. It hurts really bad to be rejected by people. Let's sit and eat lunch together. That's empathy. It's an action. It's a verb. It takes a little bit more effort than sympathy, but it can go such a long way. Sometimes all somebody needs is a little bit of validation, just someone to say, hey, I actually think about you and I care about you. That little bit can go such a long way for people.
Got another little video to help us prove that point here. So this is about empathy and how it can help in deeper situations. So we're gonna roll this one for you guys.
This is from a TED Talk. Please enjoy. Sometimes you can't really make it better. It's already bad. But you can make a connection with someone and help them move forward.
Got a couple little quick graphics. We'll go through these just to better explain sympathy and empathy. So sympathy is really, like he said, it's surface level. It really does help in some situations, day to day. See a kid fall off their bike, say you feel sorry for them. But up here, when it's more serious, if it's a broken teddy bear or a broken relationship or something like that, it doesn't really go so far just to say, well, hey, that's too bad. Actions.
It does go a long way to say, I'm here for you, I care for you, I feel bad that you feel bad, but it will get better. And it's true, it does get better. High school is I'm only 25, but high school has still been the hardest part of my life, hands down. I finished college already, and although there was bullying of other kinds in college, and just, hard things to get through, high school is just, it's so tough to put that much pressure on someone who's just learning who they are. So we need to be gentle with people and show them that we care.
Why is that?
Because if we don't, nobody will. It's up to us, just like the two wolves. It is up to you to control yourself so you can help other people. It's scary to do too, standing up to bullying, telling someone like, that was mean, or even after the fact going up to someone saying, I saw them do that to you, that's not right, just let you know I'm here for you. Even just doing something as simple as that is really, really scary, really, really hard. There's a fear. There's a fear that if I do this, I'm not cool anymore. If I do this, this person probably won't think I'm cool. This person probably won't want to hang out with me, or what would that group think if I talk to this group? It's a fear. It's actual fear. Jedis in Star Wars use the Force, the power of the Force in the real world, and it comes from their feelings on the inside. Master Yoda is probably one of the best Jedis there is, and he's interviewing a young Anakin in this clip. Anakin's just been pulled away from his mother to learn how to be a Jedi, but Yoda senses in him much fear. You can work towards a better school that is free of meanness and bullying. It's that fear that's holding you back. That fear of being unpopular. That fear of being seen as a wimp because you're in tune with emotion. Even that fear of seeing yourself as someone who's in control. There's people who don't even like that. They see, oh, that person's not living angrily. I can't be with them. This is Master Yoda. He's a Jedi. The Jedi use the Force, and they are able to do that through their emotion. And he's talking to Anakin about fear. So let's see what he has to say about that. Yeah, that's the gist of it. If you're with a bunch of girlfriends and they're plotting against someone, and you're scared to say, I don't think that person deserves to be called out like this. If you're scared to just say something like that, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry. That fear will lead to anger. And that anger will lead to hate. You'll lash out. And that hate leads to suffering. Just like the coffee lady, when you're angry, what's right seems wrong and what's wrong seems right. And that anger and hate, it all leads to suffering. You're going to be worse off because of it. Sometimes it doesn't come from a place like a relationship. Sometimes you're hungry, and that's why you're cranky and mean. Sometimes you're tired. Make sure that you're in tune with your own biology. When I was in college, I had no idea, and I wouldn't eat, and then I'd get really upset and angry with people, and they're like, dude, just eat a Snickers, you're hungry. So we have a clip with Aretha Franklin to help illustrate that. Yeah, thanks, Aretha. She's just showing, sometimes it's your body. Sometimes you just need to eat, you just need to sleep. And that's why you're being cranky, and that's why the bullying's where that's coming from.
You can take that a little bit farther. You know, if you're a little bit angry or upset, maybe you're a little hungry and you need a Snickers, but there's these lifestyle changes you can do too. Going to bed at the same time, it's not as easy when you have a smartphone like we all do. But waking up at the same time, eating at the right times, going outside. I don't know if you guys have heard of green therapy, but that's a really popular thing in cities now. They're planting trees everywhere. The idea that being outside is actually therapeutic.
And taking time to breathe. Let's go back to the wolves. The angry wolf, he breathes like this. He goes. That's how the angry wolf breathes. When you're angry, you hyperventilate. Deprives your brain of oxygen. Next time you're feeling that angry feeling is welling up, that's okay. It's okay to feel anger. It's how the choices we make afterwards that make the difference. You feel that anger welling up? Slow down. Breathe in.
Yeah, you guys can do this. It feels kind of good. You just breathe in. You hold it for a second, and then you just breathe out. And that actually calms your brain. It makes you think straighter. It gives your brain more oxygen to
Put
function.
on some music that always puts you in a good mood. I have a few tracks that I like to listen to when I need my mood picked up. It's like, maybe I don't want to exactly listen to it, but I know it's an upbeat song that will help me keep my head up. It's all about respect, just like Aretha Franklin from before. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect. It's respect for your school, and it's respect for your fellow classmates, and it's understanding that you are all in this together. Your actions and words make a difference. You can't just act on all of your impulses and be quick to violence. It will create hate and suffering in your life.
All right, we've got a couple slides we'll get through kind of quick here. You might have seen something like this about respect. If you give respect, you'll probably get respect. It's a great way to go about things. Give everybody respect, and you'll probably get it back in return. So, a couple quick things. You guys are in a pretty big school here, some 1,700 kids, like we said, so you might have heard of Newton's third law of motion. It's actually not that complicated. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and that's true of everything. It's true on a large scale when you're in school. Everything you do affects everybody around you.
Yeah, you'll find in school that self-fulfilling prophecy can have a huge effect. If you're constantly coming with a negative attitude and lashing out at people around you, it will be more difficult to make real friends. And on the converse, if you're not making connections with people, there's going to be bullying that happens that just goes unnoticed, unchecked, and it can lead to very serious consequences. People's mental health is a large issue in today's world, and it's because with every passing moment we're realizing how important mental health is. Everybody has down days and up days, but it's very difficult for anyone to handle multiple down days in a row. You need somebody there to help you through that. It will get better, but if you don't have anyone with you, it seems like a tunnel with no end. Now, I spend a lot of time on the internet too, and I see that people kind of will create fake lives on Facebook and that sort of thing, but I do think it does more good than harm. One thing that I have to say though is, words have power. What you say on the internet actually sometimes is worse than if you were to say it in real life. you need to be very careful about which words you choose and what you're saying to people on the internet, because you can hide behind a computer quite easily and feel like, oh, I'm not directly in front of this person. I know a story of a friend of mine who's in high school. We'll call him Charlie. He was sharing memes with people, and the memes were getting progressively darker and darker until finally they were making kill yourself jokes and don't come to school tomorrow jokes. And even though the other people in that forum who were sharing those images were making just as dark, if not worse, jokes, he got expelled. Like, no more school for him. He's homeschooled now because of what he said on the internet. You can't be held responsible. There are consequences for your actions. And why is that? Well, we have another more unfortunate story about that, but I have my lawyer sister here to talk about the law a little bit.
Well, before we get to this story, which is really important, I do want to emphasize there's not just school consequences. There are legal ramifications to what you say and how you act. And sometimes what can start as a seemingly harmless joke can escalate. And it happens a lot online, mainly because when you're behind a screen, whether it's your phone, your iPad, your computer, you're anonymous, right? You can log in as Barbie Girl 123 and nobody knows who you are. And you can say whatever you want. It feels like you can say whatever you want, right? This is America. We have the freedom of speech. But that's not the truth. That's not reality. We know the internet is not real life. And what you say online can be traced to you. It can be traced to your IP address. There are many examples of kids who were taken away in handcuffs because of what they said online. And somebody might have taken an action as serious as a suicide because of what was said online. So a lot of times bullying, we're up here to have fun. We're here to give you guys a good vibes and a good message, but it is very serious. And I just encourage you all to be wise stewards of how you use your internet voice.
Next time you're thinking, oh, this would be funny if I typed KYS to this person, instead think TYU. Those letters are actually next to each other on the keyboard. So next time you're looking at a keyboard, look at those three letters next to each other. TYU, the Youth Unite. It's extremely important. We have a testimony here about someone who was in a relationship that broke apart. This is him, Josh, on the left, or on our right. And this is his family, his mom and his two sisters. And he had a bad breakup. And people were telling him, go kill yourself. And they thought it was a joke, but it turned out to be very, very serious.
Hi, my name is Sheila, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my story. My son Josh, bless his heart, decided to take his own life. And the pain and the impact that it left behind on so many people. And I'm sorry this is hard to talk about because he was my everything. You try to care about people that obviously don't care about you. Otherwise they would treat you nice and kind. And I wish more of the world would be kind and not bully and not call names. Even through all this, I guess I turned some of my anger towards some people that bullied him. And I tried to do it to prove a point that it doesn't feel good to be bullied. So I bullied back a little bit just for them to know how it felt. It didn't make me feel good that I did it. So always be kind and treat people with respect, because you just never know what that person might be thinking that day. Don't whisper a death threat in somebody's ear, even if you're joking, because that person can take it serious. Don't bully on social media. Don't. You don't know what that creates or how that hurts somebody. Because when Josh died, he had a support system that was huge. He just didn't know it. Josh made a mistake that night. I know he didn't mean to die. He was tired of the pain that was surrounding him from other people. Josh left behind 2 sisters. Not only myself have I had to deal with the pain of losing my son, his sisters, grandparents, his best friend that he grew up with. It has left an impact of hurt and questions that we will never understand. Josh would have had a support group. We wish he would have talked about it, told us maybe what was going on in his mind, because we all would have been there to cheer him on. A lot of things have happened since Josh has been gone, and he's missed out on so many wonderful things that he should have been here for. He served a purpose. He was loved. So please, try and treat people with respect. Don't bully. Don't name call. Find somewhere in your heart to think about how that person would feel. How you would want to be treated is how you should treat other people. I know sometimes it's hard to show people respect when they're not respecting you. I know firsthand it's really hard sometimes to be the better person and just walk away or stick up for somebody that's being bullied. It's not wrong to have your opinion about bullying. If you hear it, stand up for that person. Tell that other person to just go shut up. Because you never know what is going on inside the mind of somebody else. Josh did leave behind a lot of people wondering why. That ripple effect really affected our small town. His service was huge because he was loved by so many people. That ripple effect is going to be there with all of us for the rest of our lives.
So yeah, thanks Sheila for sharing that. It's a pretty tough story to deal with. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. We don't want that to happen here. We want to learn from that mistake. We need to use self-control. We can't be feeding the wolf whatever we want to. You need to listen to your own thoughts and think, am I doing this out of impulse? Am I doing whatever I want to do, whatever I want to do? Or am I thinking about other people and how I'm perceived? Also, we need to practice empathy, right?
Yes, we do. We need to practice empathy because it makes it a better place for everyone to be. Sharing those feelings with other people makes it so that they know someone is there for them. And it turns out that human connection is really the only thing that actually helps at the end of the day. So it's our last slide, just that you guys are all in it together. You're stuck here. Everything you do affects everyone around you. So just be nice to everybody around you. It makes it a better place for you all to be.
All right. We'll roll this clip while we get ready for our last song. Thank you very much. Beloit Memorial Singers, we're going to need your help too. Xavier, come on up here. So thanks for listening, everybody. Thank you, Beloit Memorial High, so much. We love your energy. Let's keep making this school better every day. And let's keep making ourselves better every day. You can contact us at our email. We have a website too. And we give music lessons right here in Beloit. So please come contact us. Everybody stand up, come on. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. This is the end of it, so go ahead. Jump and clap your hands. There you go. Now it's easy standing. Come on. I see some people on the middle here. Not sure about that. Please talk to us. Please talk to us. And keep this school for free. Come on, just call me. Just call me. Come on, just call me. Just call me.
All right, everyone, let's give it up for Johnny and Jake. Thank you, Purple Knights, so much for having us. We appreciate your attention and your respect today. We are going to have some of our friends here passing out stickers by the doors. If you don't get one, there's going to be more in the office of the two wolves. And we have a man with authority behind me. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for being a great audience. Let's give it a hand.